On episode 84, we're talking about teeth and death. You heard it. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the 88 Show. This is the internet's only dental show, you may not even have known this, that's answering marketing's most important questions, because we've done the market research. We're the only ones out there doing this. Anyway, guys, this is episode 84. I am your host, Joshua Scott. You can tell from this episode, from the setup already, it's different. This is my friend and guest on the show, Ryan Thogmartin. Ryan, say what's up.
What's up?
Man, so happy to have him here today. This topic of the month for February here is we're talking about attention. In episode 83, we talked about that and what that looks like for a dental practice. Today's gonna be a little bit different because what Ryan does is in the death care space. He does marketing for funeral homes. I thought what we did was like obscure and it's hard to tell people about it, but I mean, I feel like you guys are at a whole nother level with it. So
it's a different conversation for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely is.
So give us a little bit of like the 30-second kind of, bio on you and the company, Disrupt Media, and where people can find you easiest of all online.
We are a social media agency in the funeral space, and we do social media. That's really our core focus, is helping funeral homes have conversations with consumers.
Yeah. So super fascinating. We got connected through a kind of a mutual friend here in Columbus who's doing some podcasts. I think that's how I actually first heard about you. I think he emailed me and said, hey, you ought to check this guy out because it's kind of similar business model. But brought Ryan on the show today because last month, Facebook made some algorithm changes and lots of people were talking about it. Google's been doing this for years, but Facebook's kind of just now getting into it. So when I thought about addressing this topic, I immediately was like, let me get Ryan in because this is what you guys do. And so understanding that's at the forefront of your business.
Yeah.
So give us a quick overview of what happened, the algorithm change, what that means.
So basically Facebook, through all of their research, determined that users spent a lot of time on Facebook, but when they left Facebook, were not feeling like they got value out of the interactions that they had.
Okay.
So to change that, Facebook is giving more priority in the news feed to friends and family content versus business content. So businesses that want to be able to engage the consumer have to be creating content that is conversational. So you see a lot of businesses that create a lot of meme, funny humor content that have nothing to do with their business simply to get engagement, which, in a way, the consumer's the one doing the engaging and they feel like it's valuable enough to engage with and they can. However, it's not achieving what Facebook wants to achieve, of this being a place where users come, connect, and get value other than just spend time. Yeah. So they're making it a must that businesses create more valuable content, which leads to brands being more personable and getting more attention to be relevant.
Yeah. On the consumer end of it, I love the play because I felt like the Facebook feed, man, I was telling these guys the last 6 to 8 months, I was just like, it was becoming so irrelevant to me, just the amount of stuff that was in there. I was literally just going into Facebook, checking notifications, and then bouncing. Yeah. So on the consumer end, I was like, awesome. On the marketing end, I was like, crap, because businesses gotta be smarter, they gotta work harder. So you're talking about conversations, and we're really at the core of a lot of this is engagement. How do brands, dental practices, funeral homes, how do they create that organic type of engagement conversation now?
It's really on the value system of the consumer and creating content that is less self-serving and more content that is relevant to what the consumer is coming to their Facebook page for. Okay. If I look at the dental side, a lot of that is when I'm choosing a dentist, I want to know who the dentist is that I'm choosing and what the atmosphere of that office is like, and the hygienist, and am I going to be greeted, and what's the waiting room like, and there's, is there a place for my kids to be while I'm getting a cleaning and having, work done. So that's where the value is going to come in for the business and the consumer consumer, because if that content's conversational and there's more comments on it, then there's going to be a higher elevation of that content in the newsfeed, and Facebook will put more weight on it. So it's you said it perfectly. It is more work that marketers and business are going to have to do.
The most interesting thing to me that stuck out with this was the potential play by personal brands.
Yep.
It just immediately made sense to me when Facebook says we're going to kind of value, friends and family more. And again, there's been so much coming into the feed from businesses. They just didn't have a choice. They have to start limiting it. Are you talking? Because this conversation is going to start with us, with dentists, about building personal brands. Are you having this conversation with funeral directors? Like, how do you see that playing into it?
100%, because funeral directors are relationship driven, and families that are choosing a funeral director typically choose a funeral director they already have a relationship with.
Okay.
80% of funeral home business is referral, word of mouth, which makes that personal brand even more valuable. So it's XYZ funeral home, but me as the consumer is going to see Joe, the funeral director, not XYZ brand. So for us, the personal conversation and developing the personal brand is huge. And we have many of our clients where their brand is online, but they personally are not on Facebook.
Right.
And so just giving them the opportunity and seeing the value of what a personal brand can help achieve.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I always say people buy from people. So I think what Facebook is doing, and I literally think in the next 10 years, personal brands are just going to take off. I think the struggle or the challenge there is getting, like a dentist who is not on Facebook or has the Facebook personal profile only to have the business page associated with it. Like getting that mind shift to engage there. And I would imagine in the funeral space too, it's probably even harder.
A lot of funeral directors that we deal with, they have kind of personal missions of why they're in the funeral space.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you work with dentists that there was something that triggered them to go into dentistry. And being able to develop a narrative around that from a personal level and put out content is extremely, extremely possible. And Facebook is making it more easy now than it ever has been before.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at how Facebook has developed the platform, they always make improvements to the personal profile before they make improvements to a business profile.
Okay.
So Facebook Live, being able to live stream on Facebook was available from a personal level before it was available from a brand level.
Yeah.
So everything they do supports the building of a personal brand. And that's where we've, as business owners, have always hid behind a logo, to where now we've got to be able to be out in front of that logo and know that the interactions that we can have on social media can lead to interactions with the logo.
Yeah, that makes sense. Last kind of few questions here, because what I see happening with Facebook in a lot of ways is a little bit of, I think businesses have come to understand the content, putting content on Facebook. I think we're there now, especially in dentistry, we're understanding the value of that. But the next, I see Facebook shifting. I see this transitional period to becoming more of a lead generation tool and actually generating new patients or new business from it. I think some of this algorithm change affected that. What do you think that's true? What do you see kind of future of Facebook here in the next 5-10 years?
Absolutely. Like, this is the shift from radio to television to, Google and marketing there. Now, this is just the evolution of the marketing process and the tools that are available. And when over 1 billion people a month engage on one platform, there absolutely is value there from a business transactional standpoint. And I think Facebook is done a good job of being a relationship driven platform over a sales driven platform. And I think that the changes to the newsfeed continue to support that, because it absolutely can be a lead driver, but you said it best, when people buy from people. So when a brand can create a personal relationship with somebody, then leveraging that for a lead or for business doesn't seem as transactional as a complete sales push.
Yeah, I think what you said over here with the team was really interesting. I actually wrote it down. Was you were making the comment of consumers map. They create this map of a social graph online, and so it's like whether they're picking a funeral home or a dentist, they're almost like trying to figure out where's the social map, like who do I know that's going to these places. Kind of last quick question, because this has been my prediction probably and I'm not in the prediction business, honestly. But like in the last year, I kind of was like, oh, I think businesses, like there's going to come a day real quick, it's going to be pay to play on Facebook. Do you see that?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I do a show similar to this with Q&A on more of the death care space and social media. And what we had a question is Facebook pay to play, and the writing has been on the wall for about 18 months. Like if you have a Facebook page and you aren't running Facebook ads, the ability to build an audience is completely difficult. But the beauty of Facebook and it being pay to play is it is massively cost effective compared to traditional media.
For sure.
I mean, in the newspaper, it's about $32 to reach 1,000 people, where Facebook, it's about $1.50.
Yeah.
Still. Now, Facebook ads are going to increase in price. I mean, we used to be able to get, a like for less than 10 cents 3 years ago. Now, under $2 is thumbs up. So, the cost is going to continue to rise, but the ability to get so granular on how you target and reach absolutely the exact consumer.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at kind of what you guys do on the website side, you're able to easily build a consumer profile and then go to Facebook and put that consumer profile in and hit that exact consumer. And when you can do that, that's different than any other platform that businesses are advertising on now. The ability to narrow down the exact consumer. But look, I mean, you were never able to get into television advertising for free or billboard advertising for free.
Well, I know, and it's funny because with this algorithm change and even this whole conversation of being pay to play on Facebook, people start getting upset with it, like, oh, we're gonna have to pay us money, and I'm like, oh, you mean on the free marketing platform that you've been able to use and build this follower up till now? Like,
absolutely.
You're mad that you're gonna have to pay.
Businesses that have driven millions in revenue for absolutely nothing, and now it costs a fraction to be able to market on. And when you see Fortune 500 companies dumping $50-60 million into a platform. I mean, we've had governments overthrown by running Facebook ads. We've had elections influenced by running Facebook ads. Like it absolutely is, a massive conversation that it is pay to play, but the opportunity and the upside is so huge.
It's a great place to end. You got to be different, look different. Awesome. Guys, that wraps up episode 84. Dude, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and the kicks too. I didn't want to compete with those today, plus the rain. Went with the
that was a smarter choice.
Yeah. Guys, that wraps up episode 84. Before we take off, question of the episode. I'm gonna actually throw this to you.
Okay.
Completely take you off guard. You didn't know this. What's a good question to ask everybody?
Wow.
Put you on the spot.
Question of the day. I want them to ask themselves this question.
Okay.
How am I providing value to my customer on Facebook?
How are you providing value to your customer, clients on Facebook? Great way to end the show. Guys, you can find the link to the article down below. That is Attention, Standing Out in the Distracted World, this month's topic. Also, best place to find me over on Instagram at Joshua Scott. Jay Moore will hook that up. Other than that, I feel good. Jay Moore, you feel good? Good episode. Facebook Live. See you next time. Bye, guys.